Good morning, trading world. It is March 12th, 2024, and this is my pre-market outlook and technical analysis for day trading the markets. The title of today's outlook is "The Next Strain on This Uptrend Looks Like CPI and NVIDIA." It looks like we are due some type of fireworks today. My guess is the numbers from CPI at 8:30 a.m. and NVIDIA. The reason I say we are due some type of fireworks is the amount of volatility packed into today. Let me bring another screen over so that I can kind of show you what's going on when I talk about volatility. All right. As I talk about volatility, that are these numbers over here on the right of the screen, and specifically talking about the percentage. This is where we derive the expected move for the day, and it pretty much comes from volatility. And one of the things you have to notice about today, we're at a 19.28% vol. If you look at any other time this week, we're less than 17%, which means something is definitely jumping off today. So get ready for some outsized trade or an outside day. We are most likely in for a big down day. The hourly and 2-hour charts have already sprouted signs of being on the downswing today. Remember comments I posted yesterday. I posted them on the YouTube channel and on the Reddit group, JMJ Investments Club. To quote those posts, I said, "Today I have a strong sales signal on the 4-hour time frame. However, have patience. Let the bounce on the hourly play out first to look for an entry between 51.88 and 5200. That time is here." Now, if we go look at NVIDIA, all right, now we have NVIDIA up, and the vol in here is ridiculous. If you look at here, we're at 76, 80, 71, 65. So for me, NVIDIA is probably key to this whatever drama we're about to have, or fireworks that are about to pop off. Because when I look at NVIDIA, the actual chart, NVIDIA is in the lower end of its trading range, of its most recent trading range. And some of the signs and signals I see is that NVIDIA is probably about to break lower. It's about to break the lower end of its current trading range. This will not be good for the entire market. It's been said, I've kind of said it before, that there were only a few stocks really holding the market up. And it's kind of narrowed down to pretty much just one. and that one is NVIDIA. So if NVIDIA starts to break lower, we definitely need to look out in the market and be prepared to short in the broader market. So that's definitely what I see here in NVIDIA, and it looks like really the next 10 days we're about to really see some action in NVIDIA here in the next 10 days, starting today, because this is backwards. We usually look for backwardation in order to tell you whether trouble is here or in the future. And the normal way that this is set up is that the greatest amount of trouble is usually always in the future. So your vol numbers are always skewed to go from least to greatest, because usually the most trouble is excuse me, is always in the future. We're always thinking about problems in the future. But the backwardation on this options chain, when it comes to volatility, is telling us trouble is near, and it is very close to popping off. So that's what this gives me on the option chain without even looking at the chart. All right, let's get to the current levels. Let me bring up the ES and get to those levels. Before I get to the levels on the ES, just in case you wanted to see, even though this is a 30-minute chart, it doesn't tell you a whole lot, but it does say enough that we've dipped lower, and this is kind of the new lower end of the range, and we've tried to bounce and we've tried to get back up to go to the upper end of the range, but it is just not working. So the next logical thing is that we start to enter another downswing here, if not today, at some point this week, or based on the option chain in the next 10 days, and we start to swing down and we break below the 836 level on NVIDIA. And believe me, it will take the rest of the market with it. All right, let me bring up the levels on the futures. All right, now that I have the intraday zones up, let's go through it real quick. I'm just going to breeze through the resistance side because I don't really think it's going to be that important today. We have our Jack resistance at 52.05, Queen resistance at 52.10, and King resistance 52.20. All right, the important side of the line today, the support side. We have our Jack support at 51.86, Queen support at 51.81, and King support zone 51.71 all the way down to this 51.65. The important battle area or no man's land that we're facing today, we're actually starting off in it. It's going to be the 51.86 up to the 52.05 area. Again, 5186 to 5205, that is the battle area that we're going to start off in. And the more time we spend below this 5196, the more likely we are to push, or the more likely it speaks to a bearish reversal. The more time we spend above this 5196, the more time we may end up pushing into uncharted territory. Probably won't be today, but if we do spend a good time up here, look for a bounce back later in the week, pushing to this uncharted territory. If, per se, we can hold some key levels down here over the next couple of days. So those key levels that we need to hold, especially today, if we pull back, the next important battleground is going to be between 5165 and 5147. So that's the next important battleground we're going to put here in that level 5147. All right, and in that area, the line of demarcation is going to be 5157, which we have here. And the more likely we push back up at some point, if we spend, the more time we spend above this 5157 gives us a more likely chance of pushing back up toward the upper end of this range. If we break below 5157, the more likely it is that we have a continued bearish reversal. Now, if we do push lower or break this 5147, there are zones to look at below this 5147, and the zones are going to be 5142, 5132, and 5126. Also, today I have important reaction areas. Since I am expecting a drop, at least for part of the day, I am looking at 5181 as a reaction area. I'm also looking at 5173 as another reaction area, and my lowest reaction area is 5167. I'm looking at these reaction areas as targets to fall to. Now, reaction areas are much different than the zones that I put up. The Jack, Queen, and King zones are areas of ranges excuse me, to start looking for changes. Reaction levels are actual spots where I will consider entry because of an adverse reaction. If we're falling, let's say, if we are falling to the first reaction area of 5181, if we're coming down into that reaction area, this is somewhere where I'm looking for a consolidation, a sideways move, and then a reaction of at least 2 points in the opposite direction. So combined with other signs that I watch, it gives me either a long entry to prove a reversal or a pop up into a continuation trade short entry. So that's the primary difference of reaction levels in the zones that I post every day. So with that being said, let's close out the video. And I like to close out the video every day with: remember, your most important job as a trader is to protect the capital you already have. You do this by knowing and understanding the risks you face in each position and in current market conditions. We manage that risk in accordance to our account size. I hope this helps. Wishing you a positive trading day. Let's go out and make it a great one.